writing in the Orchard, initially it was going to be called American Standard. It was my first book that I had sold, not done. I've written two books, and now I'm a writer. I'll send it, so I had it initially with the 70 pages I'd written and sort of a rough-ish outline. It was going to be about the housing crisis, American Standard, and sort of, again, siblings, like older siblings navigating the housing crisis, etc., like sort of finances and family dynamics, various things. The more I wrote, I also was not preoccupied. I was parenting, for many years. And I also, as a writer, felt like, yes, I've read about moms and I've read really good writing about motherhood, but there was something about the real focus on sort of the romance and terror of it that, again, it's all these things that I can't quite express, but I also haven't read it a lot. And I thought, the more I wrote, the more I found myself, kind of veering towards that. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it because I'm just going to write it down because for the record, and then I can write a book about siblings later. So Maisie Moore, in the novel In the Orchard, which is my most recent book, we meet Maisie Moore in the middle of the night where she is nursing her newborn, who is 10 days old. It's her fourth child. So there's three other little kids sleeping out in the house. There is a little bit of a leftover of the financial crisis, not major, but she worries about money. We're in her head a lot, thinking about worries about mortality, about money, about, and happy thoughts too, but also thinking about her past. And her mother died when she was 5. Her father has since died, but there's a grandmother who's important. Oh, I have a dog coming in. Hi, buddy. And she thinks about life. It's kind of about consciousness a little bit and how to be a little. She's just, veering all around as she's nursing and preoccupied with her kids. So for the first half of the book, this sounds like such a snore, but she's a lot of flashbacks, a lot of, kind of reflections and observations about her children, about, raising kids. And she's a young mother, so she's kind of looking to older parents and older teachers and what they say and what is to come, because she doesn't have older siblings or, that sort of thing. There are half an hour west of here. Every year we would, as a family, go pretty much get apples.
So what drew you to the apple orchard was my roundabout way of.
That is a good question. It's like we had the little kids. I mean, we, meaning me and myself, the writer, I have it. So in the novel, there's children. What can we do that we get out of the house? And the new baby is very young, like 10 days old, probably too little to be going to an apple orchard, honestly. I mean, if I were the mother, I would recommend the mother and the infant stay home, but they head out anyway, which, a mother of 4 might, I guess, just to get out of the house. So that seemed like a place to go. And I went and got my master's in my mid 40s after the Brambles, but before In the Orchard. I went to Rutgers Newark, which was right nearby. Jane Ann Phillips was the director of the program. But while I was there, I did write a story in one workshop with John Keane, who's a wonderful writer, genius, actually, MacArthur genius, and teacher. And it was, I think, just like, the temporary title was just On the Way to the Orchard or Going to the Orchard or something. And part of that was, in the book. It just felt like there was more. And an orchard is such a kind of, in terms of what was child rearing and the analogies of aging and dropping fruit and, all of that stuff seemed so kind of rich and almost like a fable. So it just felt right. And in fact, the title In the Orchard came very late because I kept titling it American Standard, which is what it was way back when it was going to be about the housing crisis. So even when I turned it in, my editor was like, "Okay, it's great, but I think it's outgrown its title." It's like that's couldn't think. It's like Maisie Moore, Maisie in the orchard. And so it just kind of, and then I don't think I even realized how much symbolism and sort of metaphor, etc., I had kind of, you know, used once the orchard thing kind of came into it.